Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Ernie Zor, and I'm here with my friend Larry Housel in this, which is our 9th video in our ChatGPT series. Today we're going to, I was going to say deep dive.
Yeah, right.
That's a inside joke. But today we're going to deep dive into the fascinating world of AI in the law, focusing on long document summarization using ChatGPT, of course.
That's right, Ernie. And if our audience starts hearing us say deep dive a lot, they might know that we've been replaced with AI bots, and it's not even us doing it anymore. It's just AI.
That's right. That's a clue, actually. People don't know that, but you see this deep dive thing, and then that's a ChatGPT-ism.
Oh, boy, does ChatGPT love to say deep
dive. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Somebody needs to write a paper on why ChatGPT loves to say that so much. It's got that just seared into its head. Anyway, you were talking about long document summarization, and I think that fits in very well in the legal world because legal professionals and law offices often have to deal with huge amounts of text, and they have to kind of summarize it and quickly understand it, and ChatGPT is a great tool for that.
Well, for starters, let's address some issues working with long documents in ChatGPT. The first thing I think about is that it becomes a bit of a slacker, this is what I've noticed, when it's working with a long document. It almost is like it's skipping some sections, and I've also noticed that it becomes more difficult to verify Chat's work on longer documents because, well, it's a long document and it takes time to read through.
That's right, Ernie, and being able to verify Chat's work is crucial in the world of law. We have to have accuracy in anything that we ask ChatGPT to do for us. So having shorter chunks to read through and verify makes it a lot easier to do that.
Right, and you know what? I've been working even for maybe several months now, and as recently as today, I was working with a manuscript that was pretty close to 70,000 words. And ChatGPT, I asked it to summarize it, and you know, one time what it did a while back was it said it could only give me a 90-word summary or some crazy answer like that,
yeah,
which seemed like it was tied into the Silverman case, which we've talked about before.
I was just about to bring that
and
up.
The detailed summary that they got sued for.
That's right.
So then I even asked Chat, I said, well, okay, I can understand it if it's a book that's got copyright issues. What about if it's my book? And then I was thinking, well, how does it know it's my book anyway? You know, and it said, oh, if it's your book, it's okay. And
yeah, like,
I don't know.
Okay, well, here's my book, and it's Sarah Silverman.
Even still, it was, you know, it would summarize it up to a point, and I would notice that, oh, well, you only summarized the first part of the book. You left off the middle and the end.
And you would know.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's a good example. Great example.
But yeah, those are the kind of problems we're up against, and I think you've got a solution to this problem, Larry. And the beautiful part about it, I think, is that it will work. We're using a pay version of Chat, but your technique, Larry, will work with the free version of Chat as well, because you could do the copy-paste thing, which we've also done and explained in the past in our Chat.
That's right. I think if we're working with these longer documents, what you're saying and with cutting and pasting and the Silverman book, what we end up having to do is break it out, right? You have to take the document and chunk it out into smaller documents, and that's what OpenAI does. I was on their website reading about long book summarization and how they got the book summaries, because like you said, I knew you couldn't just put a whole book in there and have it read it. It won't do it. It'll just stop doing it after a while and say, okay, here's your summary, first 3 chapters,
right,
the last paragraph of the book. They said that's what they did. They did exactly what you did, which is break it out into smaller chunks, summarize those, and then take those and summarize all those into one summary, and that's how you can get a complete summary of a large document.
I even did a variation of that theme. I said something like, well, you only summarized the first half of the book. Now you need to summarize the part where they travel to the Rio Bravo, that sort of thing. And then it would pick up from where it left off. But it had to be coaxed through it. Almost like you were saying, almost as if you were cutting it up, only you're having it cut it, the sections.
It's definitely a way that works, and I'm thinking that we can use this as an example to demonstrate another feature of ChatGPT, which is these GPTs that we talked about last video. And what we're going to do is we're going to summarize this, I think it's like a contract, and then we're going to take We're going to take those summaries, put it into a ChatGPT, and then we'll be able to ask it questions.
Okay. Well, Larry, let's show our viewers this principle by having chat review and summarize a typical license. Is that what you got? A license and support agreement?
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's we'll copy OpenAI's approach and work through sections of it, and then we'll verify the results.
Yep, that's right. Let's do it. All right, Ernie. So what I've got here is our ChatGPT window. It's I got here. Let me back up out of here real quick.
On my new computer.
Yeah, this new. You might not be able to tell, but we can really appreciate the clarity and the speed of this new machine you've got here. So if we look up in the upper left-hand corner here, we see this Explore GPTs, and that's where we are right now. When you usually come into chat, you're looking at something like this.
Oh, right.
So we click on Explore GPTs, and these are all the ones, and we were talking, we'll probably do a video just on these different GPTs that people have made and are available now. But what we're going to talk about is making one specifically for us, in fact, specifically for this license and supply agreement. So I click on New, and it brings me into this window, and essentially what it starts out at...
You know, Larry, for a second, let me interrupt you.
Yeah, sure.
I was looking away, and I didn't see. Where did you click on New?
Oh, yeah, let me go back.
Just in case people are as stupid as I am.
I'm looking here, and
Where'd
it says...
you find the New?
When I'm in the Explore GPTs, in the upper right-hand corner, there's this green button.
Oh,
okay. Kind of behind the mic.
Yeah, right. That's why I couldn't see that thing.
So we hit Create, and now we're in our own. And you remember Wizards, right?
Sure.
You Resume Wizard in Microsoft.
Oh,
same
no,
idea.
I thought you meant Gandalf.
Well...
From The Hobbit.
Yeah, I was thinking of the ones that were for software that would walk you through a process.
Yeah, well,
he is also a wizard.
He was a wizard.
But
if ever a wizard there was.
Yeah, he's
the Wizard of Oz is one. Okay, never mind. I was going to launch into the
And that's a tough.
I could sing that song, but I won't because I probably couldn't remember all the words to it. But I'm really throwing us off, and I'm why? You mean like?
Well, it wouldn't go with your new lawbreaker's personality. You're tough.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can't be reading fairy tales or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Larry.
Well, I'm a little bit nervous around you nowadays, to be honest.
Well, I'm scaring myself practically.
So we've got this new GPT, and it's basically in wizard format. If I click on Configure, it'll allow you to do this manually, but let's keep it simple. We'll keep it in the wizard. So what we're going to work with is this. Where's that agreement? It's in... Here?
One of the tabs?
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
So this is a software license and support agreement. It is, what's it look like? How can we tell? It's quite a few pages. So it goes on and on.
Yeah, right. A couple thousand words for sure.
Yeah,
it's a single space, tightly, right.
Pretty hefty document.
Yep.
So what I've already done, and what you guys, I'm not going to waste all the viewers' time, is I've chunked that out and created these little text files that are the entirety of that document summarized by ChatGPT. So you can see.
Now, how did you make these chunks?
Well, cut and paste.
Okay, so you went to the document that we were looking at before. Mm-hmm. You scrolled over it and highlighted a piece of it.
This.
And then what? Control C.
Yeah.
And then go into Notepad and Control V.
You like to use the keyboard? I'll just right click on it.
And that works too.
Yeah.
Yep, that works too.
So that's how I did it, and
there's also, besides Control V and Control C, there's also Shift Insert Control Insert, which works even more often than Control C and Control V.
Wow, that's
pretty good
high
trivia.
level stuff. Yeah, that's outside of my pay grade. Well, I'm gonna stick with the right clicks for now.
Okay,
but I'll look into
good.
that. I'll look into that. What we have then is, and I like you said, and you were talking about this. There's a certain size that's optimal for chat to read, and you did some. Intense research apparently and came back with 3,000 tokens or something, right?
No, between 5,000 and 7,000. And you're right, Larry. They refer to it in terms of tokens, but I think it's safe to equate tokens with words.
I think that's about right.
Sometimes there's more than one token that will make up a word, and sometimes one word will need several tokens to render it. But I think bottom line, as long as you leave a little margin of error and you try to stick to the 5,000 to 7,000 rule, you'll be okay.
Yeah, I think that's right. furthermore, and I've mentioned this, or I wanted to mention, is we don't know when somebody's going to watch this video, and it's changing so often that whatever it is now might be totally different. 4.5 might come out, it might move up to 7,000, 14,000, whatever.
You know, I'm noticing something right now for the first time ever, and it might be because this is the Windows 11 version of Notepad, but I don't think the old version used to tell you how many characters. So if you were throwing some text around and you didn't want to exceed so many characters, yeah, look at it in Notepad. It says right down there at the bottom, 1,874 characters in this little blurb that you pasted in there. That's handy.
And look, these, if I click through all of them, I made about 5 of them.
Yeah, look at them.
That one's 3,000, 2,000.
Yeah, you're well within the 5 to 7 parameters.
It should be able to plow right through this, right?
One would think.
Yeah, you would think.
With the excitement is building.
So we've got these files ready to go into this ChatGPT so that we can tell it to review it. But first, it says, what would you like to make? And we need to give it some instructions to tell it, give it some context to what we want it to do, right?
Okay.
So what I did is to save everybody having to watch me type, because we know how that's one of the low parts of the show.
Well, that's a pretty good blurb there, too.
And yeah, so this is, people can pause the video or take the time now if they really want to read it, but this explains to chat what it's going to be. You're a helpful paralegal, focus on identifying areas of a lawyer that a lawyer should concentrate on to improve the agreement, things like that.
This is what they call the prompt.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And you know what's really good about your prompt, Larry, is that it says it starts out by saying, as a professional and helpful paralegal. Well, what that does is it gives chat a personality to emulate. So that's an interesting concept. Instead of just saying, I don't know, when you get to the actual substance of it, analyze this license and support, it's nice to tell it, hey, look at it from this point of view.
That's right.
As a professional paralegal.
And we've said it time and time again, the prompt, it's all about prompting. We're dealing with essentially when you're talking about ChatGPT's knowledge, it's all of human knowledge.
Yeah, there you go.
Essentially, right? Dumped into it. So it's going to take on whatever generic personality that all that knowledge is going to create. But when we give it just small things like helpful, professional, summarize, analyze, concentrate, improve the agreement, these things will focus it, right? It'll dial it in and it'll help create better answers and a better tool.
Right. And that's another thing that you could have a video about is just on prompts alone.
Yeah.
We'll have to work on something like that in the near future.
You'll appreciate this, Ernie, because you're a programmer. And I read the other day, somebody wrote and they said, prompting is programming.
Oh, there. Yeah, okay.
Essentially, that's what we're doing.
I'm down with that.
So look, I'm going to right-click. This way that the viewers can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to think, oh, well, I got a message for you. I'm just going to paste this in and send it. And now it's going to say, oh, well, that's really interesting. And so it's updating the ChatGPT. This configuration screen's being filled in by it automatically. It's a wizard. It's like a resume wizard. So it's updating it now. And once it gets updated, it understands its role. Oh.
Wait, did we upload the document itself? I can't remember.
I'm going to do that next. Yeah. No, not yet.
Well, haven't you asked it to analyze and summarize it, and you didn't give it to it yet, or no?
No. This includes scrutinizing relation to software. No, I'll give it to it.
All right.
Oh, but it's freaking out, Ernie. I don't
Is
understand. Yeah. Anyway, you know what? Maybe it doesn't like something in this prompt.
Maybe it doesn't want to be a paralegal.
Maybe
it wants to be something.
It aspires to more.
More, right?
Right here. Okay. You're a lawyer. How about that? People got that. I already am backing up.
Apostrophe.
You
are a. I was thinking, what can you say? You are a crack lawyer.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's a good one.
What?
Crack lawyer.
Well, that might mean something else, Larry. That could mean oh,
that's true.
Hey, wait a minute. We could be doing crack.
Mm-hmm. Or somebody that's defending someone who does
right.
crack.
Or does, defending. Well, yeah, why did I pick the doing crack thing? That's first came up to my mind.
Well, you are a crack lawyer.
I am.
Oh,
crack has a lot. I don't even. Why are we even talking about crack? Because now I'm thinking of something else, and like someone once said, that you can't pluck out your mind's eye. Once I start thinking about crack, I don't know. Looks like we encountered a glitch, it said.
Oh, man.
Hey, what is this video? Is this a video showing how bogus ChatGPT is?
Yeah, right. You know what
Wow,
I
okay.
think it's something
We'll
with
have
this.
to change the script here and say, hey, look,
All right, what we're going to do
this
is
piece
this.
of dump.
We're going to start over.
Did you already do this at your house? Or
Yeah,
I mean,
it worked fine.
what the
All right.
hell? Or what the hey, as they say.
What the hell?
If you,
What the
I don't wanna
HE
get
double
into
hockey stick?
Yeah.
Or just tell it. I'll just do it manually. All right. Man, look at your keyboard is in different language. What is?
Yeah, you know what? This keyboard's got to go. It's a new. Okay, just for everybody's benefit, this is my new Lenovo computer, and while I really like the Lenovo in terms of it's a heavy, it's not some lightweight thing that'll blow off your desk. I don't like the keyboard. It's like a modified chiclet keyboard, and for a touch typist, you will not like this keyboard, so I will replace it, Larry.
All right. So I'm just gonna get. Whoops! Look at that.
What did you type? You are a highly skilled paralegal. You know what? You should just
Can't
say.
be mad about this. This is
You
just
know
a
what?
one sentence.
You better just say summarize this document or something. I think
Right?
after I give the big buildup about giving it a persona, look at this.
I know, and it's like, all right. Finally, it took that. It wants to call it legal. I don't know. I don't like that name, but I guess that's fine.
What has that got to do with what we're
Well, this
doing?
is the wizard because it has to have a name and it has to have a logo. So it's
legal. Oh, Jesus.
What do you
Okay.
think? I don't know about
I
that.
think it's bad, but let's stay with it, I guess.
How about great? Oh wait, you know what?
Well, you see, that's what I don't like about that keyboard is that cap lock. There's the word crack again. Oh, you're typing that.
Crack paralegal. Call it crack paralegal is what I'm going to tell it.
I think that crack thing is,
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I can't wait to see what the logo looks like that it generates. Okay, so now it's building a profile picture, so we're halfway done. And then I'm going to upload the documents I'm going to upload the
Well,
summaries.
let's not throw any parties yet because.
What do you think? That's not too bad.
Okay, let's party.
That's
Hey, wait
our
a
logo.
minute. What is that? A picture? How come it gave us a picture? Here's a profile picture.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
did you ask for a picture?
It's the wizard. The wizard's just doing it for us. See,
the
normally we'd have to
wizard.
come in here and we'd have to,
Okay. Okay.
do all
hey,
that, but
I'm
it's
good.
doing it for us. So now the last thing I'm going to do is here is the contract. You'll summarize here. Oops. Is the agreement you will work with. All right, and then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to upload them.
Okay.
So here we have, these are the 5 text files that we were looking at here. I'll bring them back up. These are these.
Okay.
So you can see, limitations.
Oh, that's what you're going to give it? These
yeah, I'm
these
going to give
things?
these shortened versions. So
I'm glad because if you were going to go to that first one, which is like a PDF document or something, I could just see this thing screwing up again and saying, "Oh, I don't like." That happened to me this
Yeah.
morning already. It didn't like the PDF format that I gave. I
yeah.
mentioned this to you last time we talked about it, and so this time I resaved it. And that still didn't fix it. So
Really?
Yeah, no,
yeah,
it
I
did not
find
work.
that the best way to do it is cut and paste it into text files, and they can read those no problem. If that's really what you're wanting
yeah,
to.
right. If it can't work with the text, then.
So I'm going to select these 5 files, which again are summaries of.
Oh, you're giving it to all to them at the same time. Great. That's a good idea.
And I'm uploading it.
You go, Larry. Look at that.
Great. Now you've uploaded the
Here's the
agreement. So
agreement
now
you're
I've
allowed.
created this GPT called Crack Paralegal. If it's gonna be able to, which one would you like to summarize first? I actually want to ask you questions about it.
The fact that we called it crack paralegal, I'm wondering if this is like being monitored by the government or something like that. Hey, what is this crack paralegal stuff? What are these two guys up to?
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Did you see that some kid was on airport Wi-Fi and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna blow up this plane. I'm Taliban," and they launched fighter jets up there to follow the plane.
Oh, my.
And so he's got to pay like $120,000 trying to be a jokester.
And he only works at McDonald's too, so it's going to take him a long time to pay that off, Larry.
Must be a
Well, that okay, right. It's two things. It demonstrates a point. Yeah, you shouldn't be crazy like that. Mm-hmm. But also, it demonstrates the point that what are they listening to everything?
That's what I took away from it. I'm like, I didn't realize
wow.
everything I was writing on airplane Wi-Fi was being read. But okay, that's fine.
So anything just for the record, Larry, anything that I said that may have been interpreted as racist,
Beating
sexist,
up old ladies,
bigoted, right, and beating up old ladies. Well, okay, yeah, I wish you wouldn't have worked that one into it, but I disavow. How do they say that in Mission Impossible? I disavow all knowledge of this.
Yeah.
And
when I come over here, I've
we're
got
at
this.
29 minutes, half hour. We didn't even show anything yet. We need to cook now.
We gotta. Well, it's good. We're right
We
at
need
the
to
end.
Watch Ernie and Larry are gonna boogie now.
Yeah. What? So I'm gonna ask it as. I'm not even gonna ask it anything here. So I just want to show now that we've created this and we save it. So I just say only me confirmed.
Cannot save. What?
Yeah. Right. So I've saved this now, and now it shows up over here with my ChatGPT.
It does? Oh, yeah, there it is.
It's got look at that logo.
Oh, nice.
Not too shabby,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
And now it's
I like
opened
that.
up in here. And so now I can say, what are some, potential... I should have you write this, Ernie. Here.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to hand it over. What are some potential issues that City View should be concerned about in this agreement?
Look at me go, Larry.
Oh, yeah, you're... It's too
Okay,
bad.
question mark.
Too bad that being good on a keyboard isn't part and parcel with being part of the Lawbreakers Club, because you'd have a real good
I
end.
know. And I've said before, why can't I play guitar real good?
Oh, you said that?
I think on an earlier video, I complained about that. I said, look at how good I type, and I can't play piano for crap.
So now it's gone through, and it's reading through the summaries of the agreement that we created in pretty good detail, and it's providing...
I will kind of leave this up on the... Well, people can... I don't know how YouTube works, but people can freeze this so that they can look... Yeah, I mean, you really can't get a good appreciation for what it's doing unless you actually read the provisions. Mm-hmm. And it's too long for us to read them back. But someone who, someone who could stop YouTube and look at the screen and then advance it a little bit and stop it again. Mm-hmm. I think they would be impressed by looking at what it's doing. And you just asked a general question.
Yeah,
Let me scroll up. Okay, yeah. You asked, what are some potential issues? Well, also remember that if you had a specific issue in mind, you could ask it that and it would come right back on it.
Yeah.
Because I think we did that in the last video with the automobile insurance policy. An animal got into the garage and it did a lot of damage to the vehicles in the garage, and it zeroed right in on the provision of the policy dealing with that. And
that's right.
Very impressive. So that's what it's doing right now.
That's right, Ernie. And the reason we're doing it here again, basically the same thing, is that this is with a longer document because we thought it was so useful. And with the insurance agent, we just gave it the document. We didn't give it like summaries.
Right.
But what we're showing here is you can take even the biggest, 100-page documents, break them down, summarize them, and put them in here, and you've got a really good tool for going through that. Now, of course, anything that it says, you'd want to go verify, but this gives you a great place to start. And so now you can see how you could do the same thing with even, basically infinitely large documents.
Right.
And have the precision and accuracy that's required in legal work.
When you're an attorney or a law office and you're handling the important information of others, you've got to exercise that extra standard of care.
That's right.
And I would work on the assumption that whatever you enter into chat, this is important, I'll start that over again. Work on the assumption that whatever you enter into chat is part of a permanent record.
Just wanted to focus on permanent because I don't know if it's not permanent, right?
Well, yeah, you're right. But I think what I have heard is I think that they pledge that user input will not be used for the development of their database. That's number one. Also, it's my understanding that there's some kind of 30-day limit that applies to your chats, so that if you look at my chats on the far left of the screen here, as soon as these things become 30 days old, they're off. They're it, and that's it.
Okay.
And I think there's also I know that there is a delete chat, but I don't know if it has an undo or whatever. But in spite of all that, it always seems like if you watch if you listen to the news or you watch NCIS,
Oh, they'll dig it up.
They seem to have a way to get at anything. So that's why I think if you're working with chat or almost anything on the internet, you almost have to work on the assumption that whatever you put in there is part of a permanent record.
That's true, Ernie. And we always talk about the difference between the paid and the free version, and you can do a lot of the stuff we're talking about using either version, and we explain when you need the paid or the free for certain tasks. One of the things that I feel we should mention that goes along with that, too, is data retention, because if you look at what OpenAI does with their data, if it's a free version, they will keep it, like you said, and they'll use it to train their models, and they'll keep it for 30 days or whatever. The paid version, however, they say they don't use for training. So it does stay in there if you've saved it and haven't deleted it, and even if you do delete it, it's there for 30 days, like you said.
Yeah.
But there is a difference between the two types of accounts.
I was not aware of that. Oh my gosh, that's good to know.
Yeah, that may be.
Well, hey,
something
what is
across.
that? What do I hear that? That's the music, and here's the takeaway.
Oh, we're going to actually have music this time and have a takeaway?
We always have music. It's a question of whether we hear it or not when it starts, because it starts up real softly.
Oh, that's right.
But the takeaway is that AI can help big time in legal document processing and education. That's it. 25 words or less, that's it.
That's right. You could just skip to that. And I couldn't have said it better myself. So we've gotten that out of the way. And let's just thank everybody again for tuning in and listening to us talk about ChatGPT, and remind them, of course, about our book, ChatGPT and the Law, Comprehensive Guide to AI in the Law Offices. You can order it. We'll have a link in the description. We'll also have a link to GPT we created that people can try out if they want to ask it questions and review.
Yeah, right,
to the
because
contract.
now I know how to put links in
That's right,
on the
we're on
YouTube
it.
thing.
Yeah,
I hadn't done that before,
so
but now I know how.
We'll make sure
That's
all
good.
that's there for people to try out, but don't forget about the book, and you can get it on Amazon for $12.95, or the paperback is $16, or directly from us at ai.puritassprings.com.
Right. And also, if the subjects that Larry and I cover interest you and you'd like to see more or hear more, don't forget to like, share, and /or subscribe to the Puritas Springs software channel, or leave comments. You know, as long as it's not something that starts out like, I hate you guys, or something like that. Otherwise, we're excited to have you along for the ride.
For sure.
Well, remember, subliminally, is that a word?
Yeah,
I think it is.
I think so.
If you like us, we'll like you. See you in the next video.
That's right. See you guys soon.
Good night, baby.